続きまして、健こと星原一慶さん、失礼しました。星原一慶さんによります。地方創生KENスペシャルです。星原さん、よろしくお願いいたします。
皆さん、こんにちは。鹿児島県在住、健こと星原一慶です。突然ですが皆さん、都会と地方、どちらに住みたいですか？多くの方々は都会に住みたいと思います。今、地方は若者が都会に流れ、危機にさらされています。皆さんも一度は限界集落という言葉を聞いたことがあるでしょう。今、限界集落は絶滅集落に変わりつつあります。そんな危機を打破するのがこの地方創生KENスペシャルです。ごゆっくりお聞きください。I'm from 市菊式の荒川。Do you know 荒川 in 市菊式の city? Well, I don't think anyone knows about it.My village, Arakawa, is a very small community. The Arakawa Elementary School had less than 30 students, and about half of the population was over 65 years old. I myself was born and raised in Arakawa, and I know firsthand the decay of my hometown. The river is no longer the prime place for children.And grass has grown while on the walkway, and nobody patted it on their way to school. I believe that the Arakawa will surely disappear if this condition continues. It hurts my heart to see my hometown disappear. I want to save my village at all costs, and I want to make regional center. I don't think it's meaningful to just regenerate this town.We need a new form of regional development that can survive in the age of COVID-19. This is where my idea, regional development KENスペシャル、地方創生KENスペシャル、comes in. So, what exactly is the KENスペシャル for regional development supposed to do? Simply put, it's doing city work in rural area and living in harmony with nature. Here, I'd like to remind you of the state of emergency declaration for COVID-19 crisis. Let's brain. There must be many of you who are tired of self-restraint. Where did you work during this period of self-restraint? Yes, at home. It must be fresh in your mind that the Japanese government was promoting telework. When the state of emergency was lifted, you went to work at the office as usual. I thought to myself, oh, I don't think I need to go to an office. If you can get your work done at home, you don't have to wear a suit or take a crowded train every day.This is the great thing about the KEN special. You don't have to live in a city to get to a rural area with a low risk of infection. In other words, you can do the same job while living in a rural area. Until now, regional development has been about the creation of jobs in rural area, and people who were attracted to these jobs are now working in rural area.It was a migration to start, but with KEN special, government doesn't have to create jobs. You can work on the PC whenever you want in rural area. The rural flexibility is essential to running the KEN special. It needs an internet connection to work remotely in rural areas and to bring family members. It is important to bring them in.When family come to a rural area, they bring more money to the town and more tax revenue. We need to create events for children in rural area with rich nature. We had a Hotaru night event every June for our firefly, which did the Arakawa River. It is becoming so famous that some people come from Saga Prefecture to participate. I think it's important to sell the appeal of nature, whether it is historical festival or delicious agriculture product. It is important to promote them on social networking sites. Nobody knows what will happen in the future. COVID-19 shows us the city and urban area are not always the best place to live. The city have lost their need, and rural area started to shine. Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。エリー先生、コメントお願いします。
Thank you, Ken, for telling us about the modestly named Ken Special. But I think you made some really good points. The small towns have been dying not only in Japan but all over the world, but this has become increasingly, it seems like Japan is suffering the worst from it because everything is so centralized in big cities like Tokyo and Osaka, and small towns like yours, they're dying, right? Even if young people want to stay in those towns, there's no work for them, so they have to go to the big cities. And one of the blessings in disguise of the unintended consequences of COVID-19 is that we're seeing how useful telework can be. And yeah, you make some good points. Like, there are going to be people who want to live in the city, but I'm sure there are lots of people, probably from your hometown, probably from other small towns, who like that way of life, who like that slower pace, and would love to be able to stay in those towns, but they just don't have the opportunities to because there's no work. So if we could expand telework, we could bring a lot of revitalization to these towns and really save them from this kind of slow death that they've been experiencing. So I think these are very, very good ideas, and you're right, there's so many benefits to this type of thing. Not only the ones you mentioned, like promoting local tourism and customs and that kind of thing, but even just lower cost of living. Plus, it's so much better for the environment because you don't have people commuting to work or sitting in traffic for hours pumping gas and fumes into the air. So there's so many benefits, and I hope that there is a push for more companies to start offering telework positions, and so that these smaller communities can survive. So thank you for that.
学院長、コメントお願いします。
すごく興奮して長いコメントをしましたよね。やっぱりね、外国の人って田舎の素晴らしさをよく分かってるんですね。だから僕らはいいリーダーがいないからダイヤモンドの原石があるのにそれを磨けないんですね。それを君が今磨こうとしてる。そういうことでどれぐらい磨いてくれるんだろうと言って君の恩師の三原先生が来てますよね。ちょっと聞いてみましょう。三原先生何とおっしゃるか。三原先生いらっしゃいます？マイクを三原先生にお渡しください。
一慶君、本当にご苦労様でした。ありがとう。荒川は荒川だけではなくて、鹿児島県内ほとんどそういう限界集落が多いんだけれども、それにこういう場で取り組んでいきますという、そして、自分のスペシャルを持ってる、考えていくということが素晴らしいことじゃないかと僕は思っております。いろんなことをやってるところが、私は山梨県が今素晴らしいと思ってるんだけれども、長野県であったり岐阜県であったりいろんなところが取り組んでいってます。そういったところも鹿児島だけではなくて、日本中それから世界に目を向けていければいいと思っております。頑張ってちょうだい。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。もう一人ですね、本当に地方再生のためにもう全ての自分の身を削って戦っている石堂さんっていう人が来てるんですよ。ちょっと聞いてみましょうね。
今の都会と地方というのはライバルじゃなくて共存しないといけないと。都会の人は田舎に来ると、交流が深まると、そして過疎をですね悪いんじゃなくて、それを利点にしてそういう移住をしたりして、そういう共存共栄型の今から社会が来ると思います。今取り組んでいるんで、もしよろしかったらまたお話ししましょう。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
というわけで仲間が増えましたね。はい、いいですよ。ご苦労様。